There you go, thank you. Okay. Being 6:09 and a quorum being present, this is the Public Access Cable Committee meeting at the studio, hybrid. So we have Jeff is coming in via Zoom. We hope Faith will also come in. So I need to do it by roll call. So Pete, are you here?
Here.
Jeff?
Here.
Faith isn't here. Steve?
Present.
And Steve, I'm present. So that is sufficient for a quorum. We have visitors here with a specific purpose, which is to do with studio space. So what I'm going to do, we'll do the public comments and the committee comments. And then if everyone's okay with it, we'll go directly to the space one. Dave promises me they can get it done in 14 and a half minutes, plus or minus 30 seconds.
Wow.
15 split. I mean, if you follow the standard rules, it's you get no more than 3 minutes to speak. So,
No, that's for public comment.
oh, is it?
That's only for public
Yeah,
comment.
they are public comment.
Oh, yeah.
Are we not on the agenda?
Yeah.
Space is on the agenda. It's been on for the last 3 months. So. Anyway, according to the rules, do we have any public comments? You should have to look over there just in case. None from the committee. Any comments from the committee?
I got you also got a Joe today, a question
Oh, yeah,
about
but-
teleprompters from Balls Rapids.
Yeah,
And we have one, I think.
yeah, we do.
I didn't know what to tell you.
Yep. I told him I'd be working on setting it up. It's a matter of getting the software that I want to use. I've tried a couple of different ones I didn't like, so I have to narrow down something.
He didn't elaborate because we were talking about a lot of other things lately. What would you use it for?
For recording here.
It fits on front of the camera. You see through the glass. So anyone can bring a script and read it.
Oh, just reading the script.
Yeah,
It's
Like what
important
Carol
because if Biden shows up, we need to be able to let him see it.
Yeah, I got 2, 3.
Two snapshots. Okay, meanwhile, back at the ranch. Any further committee comments? In which case, as I mentioned, we have 3 guests here who are
Dave McDonald.
and
Damon Quaid.
and
Michael now.
maybe,
all of whom are represented.
maybe you guys come up here.
You know what?
We're gonna do one all three, we can just do one at a time. This one.
You need to see it as well, Pete. You need to see it
I'd
as
like
well.
to, discussion, for discussion, I brought the layout that we had discussed with the architecture for TCT. And while it's not the layout that we're going for, it has some key items in it that we wanted.
Thank you.
Hey, thanks.
Oh,
Have the autograph.
frame that.
So it has some, it has some key items that we wanted. It's, the space will be different and we would probably go with what you're suggesting. But the one key thing about the space is that the master control room is between the PAC studio and the kitchen, so it can record either one. That was just one of our,
Oh, we still need a master control room in the town hall. This is a separate building. Meanwhile,
Yeah, let's go through the first part.
one of the 3 of you taking the lead here.
Ready?
Sure.
Hi, my name is Dave McDonald, Lunenburg. I'd just like to say thank you for the opportunity for us to meet with you tonight. We're here for one reason, and that is to talk about space for PAC TV. PAC TV has been very dear to me, not only in Lunenburg, but Fitchburg and Leominster as well. For those people who know me, I've been out in the public a lot in the last 2 years with the Salvation Army and other duties. And one thing I've learned about PAC TV is that it gave people at home an opportunity to learn what's going on in local government. It's also given a lot of people at home an opportunity to find out what's going on in their towns. That never happened before. PAC TV viewership is, from what I understand, has increased from 45 to 50% over the last year. So to keep that going, you guys as well as Flickering and Leominster should be very proud of what you are doing on PAC TV to help the local citizens be involved in the town. We want to be a part of that. This is very exciting. What we're talking tonight is not space allocation. That doesn't mean anything to me. What we're talking about for here is to upgrade the PAC services to the town. And maybe not only to Lunenburg, but the surrounding towns. I like to look at things as an opportunity, and this is an opportunity for PAC. And Peter and I have done a lot of talks about philosophies about business and stuff. The three of us are all business people. And I know we're on a short time, so I don't want to hold you down. But what we talked about, Mike and I and our company, MDB, has purchased some property. This is located at 665 Mass Ave, which is right next to the police station. So if you guys go down and look at the police station, it's right over to the right of that. It's an acre and a half. Before we have, and we have developers that want to look at it. We, when I say we, the three of us want to keep it local. Anybody can go to apartments right now, but I want to give something, or we want to give something back to the town. And we're not doing this for free, by the way. When I say give back to the town, but we are going to give you guys a great deal on this. There's a lot of ways we can do it, but the main thing is we want you guys to look at PAC TV and be as proud of it as we are. Without PAC TV, we could not have done a lot of things that we have completed over the last 2 years, from emergency messages to involvement in town government to people now doing their own shows. So again, I applaud you guys here in Lunenburg for what it is. What we have done is we have Damon McQuaid, who I'm going to bring on in a second. Damon is a very good friend of ours. He's also a very good architect. He designed the Leominster PAC TV. Now I know that's you guys have all toured the Leominster PAC TV. It's a totally different kind of operation. But while we go through tonight, and again, I know we got a short time, think outside the box. Think about funding differently. Be positive. There's always a way to try to do something. So with that, I'll give it to Dan.
So Dave and Mike asked me to put together a design that would take up 2,500 square feet. Structure could be easily wood framed or metal framed, depending on what was best for the budget. Took a very utilitarian and straightforward approach to how the space is laid out, so we don't waste any area in circulation and things of that nature. But it's set up so you have main entry in the front with conference room, director's office. As you work towards the back, you have a studio with for sound purposes. There's a studio vestibule that gets you into the control room and studio, large studio area. There's space for studio storage. There's a garage in the back for potential in the future if you guys have a van or something like that to load to park and keep things. Or even before that, if someone's bringing equipment to and from an event, they can pull in, unload out of the weather and put things back where they belong easily.
Jeff, can you see that on your screen,
I can.
the building?
Yep. So the view from the street, and then the next page with the floor plan layout. So obviously I hadn't talked to you guys about this when I put it together, but so space needs and allocation can change, but try to do an efficient use of space and taking what I learned from doing the Leominster project, bringing some of it into here, giving you guys something to start a discussion around.
Okay.
So what basically what we're hoping here is to give you guys everything you're asking for, including the kitchen space, I mean, a professional building. Kind of control your own destiny. You're going to be in a standalone building, which is yours. You're not going to be sharing space, having to redesign something. You're going to design this from ground up. And I mean, this is our first shot at it. And obviously any request you have, any movement, we're in the beginning stages. So we can pretty much fit any need that you would need on it. So, I mean, I think it's a pretty good opportunity here.
To talk about funding, how do we do this? One of the things is, and I know you're a 5-0.
No, we're not.
You're not a 5-0.
We're part of the town.
You're part of the town. So a couple of things you should look at is there is grant opportunities out there. That's a fact. But what you got to do, you got to look at it yourself. You got to say, what can we do to raise some money? One is talk to Heather. I suggest you as a chair and a committee get together, talk about this if you want to go that avenue. You may not even want this. I mean, this is up to you, what's good for the town. But you should look at ways, and again, I think I talked to some of you guys about what is PAC. You know, maybe you can get towns and air involved, make it a super PAC. You got towns out there who are dying to express.
Bad expression.
I know you like that. You can use that if you want. We can call it super PAC.
No fee for that.
But you have towns out there dying to get to where you are, and you want to expand as well. I mean, Leominster runs a nice business, Fitchburg runs a fantastic business. You guys run a great business. But now you have a home, you have a place where you can bring people in and do an interview without this. You have a place where you can expand. You also have a place where you can show the town that you guys are here and that you're there for them. So we can look at the financing a couple of different ways. We talked about maybe leasing the building to you, leasing the land to you. You guys build it yourself. We can build it together and lease it. There's a lot of opportunities, but that's something that you're going to have to do. And Mike, Damon, and I are always here to help you to figure that out. But I think when we leave, and again, I hope we're not taking up too much of your time, this is an avenue. And what I would like to ask you guys is think about this for a while, but let us know when spring comes, that property won't be available.
Are you the principal contract?
Mike and I, no, we're all the same.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't matter.
We talked today. And as you mentioned, one of the nice things about it is it is right next door to the safety building. So I mean, I think it's a great spot for you guys. I mean, you're right there in the heart of things, really. I mean, it's accessible.
We've been talking about getting into an independent building for a long time.
Yep.
Yeah.
Looking to see what the town has that we could use. It's not.
Yeah,
Especially controlling, the height of the high ceilings, you can control sound, you can
The
control light.
buildings that they're trying to deal with, get rid of or do something else. I'm not fit for that.
I asked Heather for a list of town-owned properties. That's it. As you can't read it. So that's a good thing. The blue ones are owned by or managed under the control of the select board. And the bottom section there are the ones that were taken by tax title, and I have no idea. I didn't start going through the addresses to see what properties they are. But these already exist. There's a bunch of, I think, 9 others where the owner is unknown. And the other thing is this bunch here, the building, we're now called the Building Design Committee.
Yeah, they just
We're
changed.
supposed to look at every building the town owns and decide what to do. They would have to be a player in the game,
Yep.
whichever way we look at it, which is why I bring that up.
And we understand that. I think they should be a good player in the game, to be honest with you.
You say again?
I think they should be a good player and committed to PAC TV in town. That's my feeling. This town should be committed to PAC.
Yeah, actually, from what I've heard through this committee in its previous existence, they were very positive about PAC, in part because of what you raised. And we're happy to hear people coming back saying COVID gave us an opportunity to extend our abilities and become even more of a service to the town.
Well, I think there's a lot of branches that you guys probably not even aware of what you're doing, I mean, as far as getting people involved in town government. I mean, when there's an opening, people fill that position right away. They hear about it. As far as the programs that the Lions Club is doing, the senior center is doing, the special programming you have for the selectmen, or the programs that Joe's putting out there with the minutes of the
Town manager
town
report.
manager. Some of the programming that some of the other people are doing has been fantastic. The one for Bob Pease at the conservation, that was a great show. The ones you did with Chief, the chiefs at the fire department, police department, those are great. Those are getting to be high quality shows. And I just think that
Doesn't mention baseball, did you see?
the baseball,
He's a football player.
yeah, football, and
Just trying to keep you on the straight.
hey, listen, we used to do put Latado. That was a great show at the
Yeah.
time. So,
That's right. That was-
and I've been involved in a lot of PAC TV too, programs,
Yeah.
and so has a Mike. So I mean,
Yeah.
we're not
Right.
old to this.
But all that being said, this is a ground up building, so you're not taking something with existing electrical, existing. This is any design you want, the heights of the ceiling, the wiring, the studios,
Probably cheaper to go new.
everything about it.
It
And
is-
it's gonna be a
it would
brand
be
new
For
studio.
this,
You're not gonna redesign what's there and say, well, this'll do, this'll be what you really want. You put your whole wish list
Just speaking
into
for
it.
myself, this is the perfect thing for us.
again, we would like you to talk about it after we talk about it in the future. Call Damon. Damon did a great job on this, and we're very proud of what he's like a little son to me. So I'm very proud of this guy. No matter what, he's looking at costs and he's looking at your interest. And Damon's well respected in town. So we're all here for a reason, is to make money cheaply, efficiently, and to fill your need in the town. And that is to get PAC TV out there and have your own building and call it home. I mean,
You mentioned earlier grant or alternative funding possibility.
we're talking with a couple of people now as far as what would it be for lease, but Heather's good at that too, by the way. Maybe you just want to do the land, lease the land, we can work that out,
Yeah.
and you build your own building, use your own. I'm just thinking that if we built it and lease you the whole building,
Yeah.
be a lot cheaper than going with a town going out to bid with it. So the project would be completed.
Do you have any budgetary numbers? So I'm not asking for numbers for, but
Yeah,
specifically.
we don't have it like honed
size
in.
of-
Other than the fact, we're very open to whichever way you guys want to do it. If you want to buy the property and move forward from there, if you want us to consider a lease, I mean, we're very open to it all. We can work on strengthening up the numbers as we know, like once you guys go through this, say, well, this is really what we want, this is our needs, then we can really put some solid numbers together and say, whichever option, whichever way you want to go, or give you the options, come up with 3 different options and
From
say
a
this would be it.
budgetary point of view.
Yeah.
You've got something or not?
We don't at the
That's okay.
moment, yes, I mean, right.
I felt.
I wouldn't want to ballpark it and then have you say, well,
Oh,
we
no.
want to do this, do
We-
that, right, yeah.
We can
Right.
get you some, I mean, Damon's good at it too, it's just the square footage, depends on what you put into it.
Well, that's what I thought you could, the square footage of the land, square footage of the.
Yeah.
house,
What do you
and where
propose
it
for a
is.
building? Is that 2,500 square feet?
Yes.
So we didn't know what you need to put in there. Damon has some scenarios, but like, when Joe came in, Joe gave us this. And we're looking at a studio kitchen. Now, a studio kitchen can be a few $1,000s or it could be hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Oh, yeah.
So we don't know what your,
Right.
Once we dial it in, we can
Yeah.
definitely put some strong
Yeah,
numbers.
no,
together.
it's-
and maybe it shouldn't be our
Yeah.
business, but I mean, I really don't care what you put in. It's just,
The building shell and the land that it's on.
yeah. we
Right.
can-
Have budgetary numbers or
Right.
something like that.
Yeah, we can put some,
We have-
that's the easy part, it's
I
coming
know.
up with,
We
the
don't need you
inside,
to do
right.
that at this point
Sure.
necessarily.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you come in and tell us that, it's a special parcel of land being next to the safety building.
Mhm.
So there's 2 million to start with, then, that'll help us understand.
well,
what
2
the next
million
step
would
is.
be nice, but I think we'll be better,
I'm just trying to
better up in the
paint a
budget, sure.
No, but that's a good number though. So-
Gambling,
You should-
gambling.
you should be in the business. I like that number. No, that number is, we know it's just that we want to know where you, before we go. into
We want to
that,
make sure there's interest, that's all.
Right.
There's interest.
But drive by the area, and like I say, I checked with the town management, not town management, the Adam Burney, it's zone, what's his zone?
Limited
Limited.
commercial.
Limited
Limited
commercial,
commercial,
Oh,
which
yeah.
means we can put it there.
Mhm.
It's on an acre and a third, I think it is. But if we do the setback, you don't touch any of the wetlands, so that's not a hassle.
Doesn't matter where you look here, there's wetlands as far as I'm concerned.
Well, Dave, let me ask you a question. I don't think there's any question that our community, a lot of here in Laurel Place, I think I can speak for everything there, because we're gonna have to fight. Who do we take this to talk to about it?
Before,
Heather's been into meetings, we haven't talked to her specifically about this,
no,
but
Daniel?
we can't do anything ourselves. We
No.
can make a decision, but we need help.
Yeah,
So who do we
and
speak to?
We're gonna help you with that. I mean, I would recommend you get the package together and go talk to Heather. or give her the idea of what you want to do. She may say no. And I don't know what happens at that point.
Actually, I think we need to both do that, and either we or you talk to this group as well.
That group invited us to go and talk to them on March 3rd. So,
Oh, really?
yeah, I think Jamie and I are going to be talking with that. They want our experiences from when we're on.
That'll be a Monday.
I think it's a Monday. I think it's March 3rd.
Yeah, I mean, well, I have a feeling at least one of us should be at that meeting.
I think
So
what you
we
guys should
reschedule
do,
that. Just remember that to the end.
Okay.
That's all right.
Let's get- move it right away.
I think what you should do is educate yourselves first,
Yeah.
as far as what you want.
Oh, we've got a pretty good bunch of lists on what we want.
No, not with the building, as far as what you want. Do
Yeah.
you want to stay where you are or do?
Oh, that's
Oh,
different
You know,
level.
you guys have to make that decision.
Mhm.
You have to work in a group and you have to
Right.
say, listen, I don't want to stay at the TCP. We want our own identity, because I don't know what's going to happen with the TCP. The numbers keep growing every day. Yeah, that's kind of scary
Actually, the
too.
next step is they're going down. Because they have to, that's what they
Yeah.
chose to do.
But when they go down, I don't know what they
Yeah.
meant by going down. I mean, we didn't, and David was on the first committee as well, the
Yeah.
building review. So there was all kinds of
I
ideas going.
was on the building committee for this building as well.
This building, how old are you?
No, when, for the reuse of it, when,
Oh, I'm sorry. I
It's,
thought you meant when they built this one. It's
No,
like
no,
70 years
geez.
old.
no, but.
Should do
yeah,
a story on it.
I was a selectman representative while I was on the board,
Yeah.
but yeah, it was the early process of it.
Well, one thing, just as a heads up, last Monday or whenever it was, Tuesday, I zoomed in on this one as well. Unfortunately, my computer had got its knickers in a twist, which is the official term. And it brought me up as Holy Trinity Anglican Church instead of Steve Walker. Because I had just set up a Zoom account. So they wanted to know who the Mary Andrew was behind this label. And it was the chair of PAC. So then they asked me a couple of 3 questions. And knowing this is helpful, this is nothing to do with decisions, but it's a thought process they were just beginning to launch. Is in any case, they've got to fix the roof. In any case, they've got to redo the asbestos remediation stuff. Could we still be in here? Now, I hadn't met you guys at this point. And I said, almost certainly, but we need 3 classrooms. And we need to be able to build an internal corridor so it's one suite of space. So 3 class, this is about 900 square feet, plus or minus.
Yeah.
So 3 would give us the 27 that we're looking for, without anywhere to park the truck, or spring water truck. So that I thought was a very interesting line of questioning. That's why I bring it up to you.
I would look at this, right, to do what you want in this building. It's going to cost money.
Yeah.
Who pays for that? Now, what you're just saying is taking out 3 classrooms, building your own little studio here, getting all this into space.
Yeah.
Who's going to pay for that?
The town,
So if you get out of here, it'd probably be cheaper to go to a new building.
not if the town pays for it.
Maybe the town will help
even
pay
with
for
the
this.
town paying for it, I
Well,
didn't say
that's
what's
why
going
I
on. here.
really
It might
want you
be.
to talk to these guys.
Oh, no, I've been
And you
talking,
just told
we've
me
been talking,
you're gonna
yeah.
talk to that.
no, but it's going to pay no matter what.
Right.
So,
You might alleviate some of the upfront costs. I mean, if it was a lease scenario where they built it not prevailing wage, it's gonna cost easily twice as much to build it in here
Yeah.
prevailing wage and build it somewhere else.
We have monies that'll let us do the inside of a building to what we need in terms of soundproofing, if we need special flooring, grid work, pipe work, lights hanging from everything, which we can't do at the moment, but we have money to do that and buy all the equipment. That's about what we've got.
just for a scenario, do you know what the, again, with COVID, I mean, I'm in construction too.
Yeah.
As you know, you go to, thank you, I appreciate that. But if you look at construction costs, what do you think Columbus, their Pac-Man for? And that's a beautiful building for everyone.
1.5 to 2 million.
It was 1 million.
But I'm talking post-COVID, it's 1.5 to 2. Just because lumber doubled in price.
Yeah, that was a steel building, but yeah.
Yeah, we did
This would
go
be a
and
wood
take a
building.
walk through there. That was a nice building.
And that building,
Except where it is.
how many square feet?
5,000.
Right, so it's twice the amount of that, and that was in steel, this would be wood.
Yeah,
You might want to reach out to them, find out how they went about getting the financing and how.
Damon knows it all.
they-
Aren't
how-
they
Was it the
501c3?
town?
I
I
don't
believe
believe
they- Yeah, they're a separate entity and they did all the, we did all of the payments and billing through their own entity. They didn't come from the town level.
Yeah, so they're 501c3. It's a totally
Okay.
different world.
Mhm.
So,
But if you take a look at what the town has budgeted in the build yours in this building versus what it would cost a new one, I think you're gonna be surprised over that
Okay.
number too. So,
does anyone on the committee? Jeff, do you have any questions?
I'm just concerned about the time frame you gave about your property. You mentioned earlier that, if we don't make a decision by spring, the property will be gone. This town moves pretty slow in situations like this, so I guess my question is to Joe and Steve and everybody, do we need the town's approval to build our own studio on their land?
Yes.
Because
We're a town.
and how quickly do you think we can get that decision? Do we have to go in front of the town of selectmen, or is it just the town manager's permission?
One problem we do have, which is new to us, when I first joined the committee, we didn't have to do this. We, because of the way we're structured now, have to take our budget to town meeting. So to spend money, anything like that would have to go through a town meeting.
And the next town meeting is in May?
Yeah, but
But you're too late for
we're
that.
too late for that one.
But I think what we're looking for, and you got some good questions there, but I would be looking for a letter of intent or something from the city committing that this will do. And again, if you look at the construction numbers 6 months from now, who knows what they'll be, they're hopefully gonna be lower, but I can't guarantee anything.
It should be low.
But they should be. Well, once the supply chain gets going again.
Yeah.
it's,
Oh, they'll open that bridge soon, don't worry.
But when I say that we need to know, we just can't sit there for a year and figure out, okay, what do you guys want to do?
No, I understand that.
But, and if there's a big but, I would start putting pressure on town management and saying, listen, we gotta go somewhere. We had it. We want to know where we're gonna go. This is just one option.
That's why we brought Heather into our.
I think Steve's been putting a lot of pressure on the past 2 years.
Well, I think we just helped with that pressure. So this would be a good opportunity. And again, I would go to the next phase, call Comcast. Maybe they have some money to throw in. There's a lot of different avenues. You guys got to think as a committee. This is your business, not ours. So you guys know.
Comcast, we're under contract with Comcast and we don't renew, or two things. One, we don't renew for 6 years.
I think it's 7 years, but
Well, they just finished, oh yeah, it's probably 7. Because they paid off the capital one.
yeah,
And everything we're hearing, every contract they do now is getting lesser and lesser, it says.
yeah, they
Is
will
what
be
it's
no
gonna
help
be.
to us whatsoever.
Like I said,
guarantee you.
I would reach out to anybody and anybody who.
Oh, no, I
sees
understand
it.
what you're saying, and actually, that's an excellent idea.
But I would also tell Comcast that you want to unite with Townsend, Ashby.
That's a different level of discussion.
That's a different level. But they're getting
we should
funds just like you are.
We had briefly discussed outside the committee. We discovered there was one guy running out of his garage or something.
Right, right.
They're new to it, so.
Okay. Any other
Okay.
questions for?
I just want to ask this one. We have an architect here.
What color
You
would you
said
put your kitchen?
it's next to the public safety building, and I just want to know if you would be able to make it acoustically soundproof for all the sirens and things like that.
Wow,
That would
that's
be
a
a
good
concern.
question. Hadn't thought of that one, thank you.
Well, I love the idea, by the way. It's just when you said public safety building, I went sirens.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's all different assemblies for different amounts of attenuation for sound.
Yeah.
And when you build it, so you'd have to identify what level we're trying to hit. Same thing, Leominster is on a pretty busy street over there, so
both sides.
yeah. So I had to decide what's gonna be acceptable,
Yeah, right.
and they wanted to be pretty quiet too, the sound control
You can
glass.
do a triple plasterboard wall with offset studs.
Yeah,
and things like
offset
that. I've
studs.
built one of those.
Believe it or not, Damon wants to make it out of wood, and as we all know, wood is the most sound deafening material out there. If you build a building out of steel, steel acts as a vibration,
Oh, yeah.
and it goes
right.
right through the building, so if
Right.
you're building out of wood.
It's also why didn't think of that when I did think of it when I drew it. That's why I put it on the side away from the public, put the studio on the side of the building
Yes,
away
right.
from the safety building and off the street, so.
That was one of the issues here. They wanted a skateboard park was going to be right outside the window. Yeah, it didn't go down very well.
Yeah,
Okay, I believe that's close to 15 minutes,
yep,
gentlemen.
and again, thank you for the
Thank
opportunity.
you
Good
for your
luck, good luck no
Thank
matter what
you.
you do.
Appreciate it coming in.
And if we can be of any help to you on any other projects, give us a call.
No, I think we know how to find you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Okay.
Bye, guys. Thank you.
Stay warm.
Oh, sure thing.
These there for you to-
Okay.
Okay, back at the ranch. Still there, Jeff?
Yep.
Hey Faith, how you doing? I know.
Texted her.
So I see on the minutes, even though it's normal business and is allowable, we don't have a, oh, you didn't. Review and approve the meeting minutes from the January meeting, which I believe Steve put together for us, for which I appreciate it. I did have a quick look through them, but I hadn't brought it with me. So
Let's see, that's,
January.
Jeff's
this-
name is misspelled.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
I misspelled your name, Jeff.
That's fine. How many times did I misspell your last name?
Oh, that's true. That's tit for tat.
Gotcha.
Tit for tat. Nice one.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes as amended.
Second, any further discussion? Hearing none by roll call. Pete. Aye. Jeff.
I,
Steve.
Aye.
Also me, so pass unanimously.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Steve, for doing
And
this.
yet again, thank you,
Great.
Steve. I appreciate that. So,
Jeff will do his thing.
yeah, you're up for it this time, Jeff. You know that. Bear in mind, when Steve does them, he sends them out like 2 days after the meeting.
yeah, I know. He's putting me to shame.
The problem with that is nobody can find them because they don't even look for them till it's the meeting.
Oh, no.
Okay, so next on the list, I have manager's monthly report, which should be in front of us,
Right here.
Joe.
Yep, I have it written in front of you. This is Joe McLaughlin speaking. It's it's rather lengthy, so I'll go through it quickly. I have a draft of the annual report in here. I don't know if anybody brought edits.
Yeah.
I did.
Okay, terrific. Then we need to, I'll go through the report and
Yes.
then
why
we'll
don't
go
we
through the
make
edits.
Sure we have that at the end of the report.
Sure. We ended up buying a Teradek encoder, along with a Pelican case, some cables and so forth. We met with Castis on information on how to set up the streaming, and we did set up the streaming on the encoder. We tested it and used it at a hockey game at the end of January.
So
So-
that was from Fitchburg,
Yes,
not on, so it came over public networks.
came off a public network.
Yeah.
So it worked out fantastically.
Okay. good.
I also created an instructional document that's in here for the videographers to use. I don't know where it is, but if you go through the report, it's very detailed on how to use a Teradek encoder. Yeah, so I put that together for them. I was working with Castis on a file issue. Some of the meetings were coming out, let's say 14 gigs for a 1.5 hour meeting.
Lot of
So
hot
the Castis was, they ended up fixing it in their last update. They allowed you to select what type of file you wanted to export it in. They didn't have that feature before. However, that didn't totally solve the problem. I needed to change the video quality from 100% down to, I think I did 70%, and that solved the problem. And the video quality was fine. But I noticed that after a meeting, and I can't download it to then upload it to YouTube because it's way too big. I was on number 5, I had to broadcast a live Zoom meeting, a remote Zoom meeting, and the Zoom had an error, would not let me record. So the next day I went in to the administrator's account and fixed the problem. The error was a Facebook error. It said you can't, it gave an error 202. So I looked it up and it had to do with Facebook, and I wasn't asking it to record to Facebook. So I went into the settings and unchecked Facebook, even though we weren't doing Facebook, but it was very strange. So that was taken care of. Number 6 is we recorded the school committee chair for roles and responsibilities series. We did part 1 in January, and we just did part 2 with Carol Archambault we just did it last week. It went up on YouTube today. That's a nice little overview, and I schedule it in with the school committee meetings to come on right afterward. Hockey and basketball through the beginning of this month. We just finished the last basketball game Friday night. Steve and I reviewed the budget numbers.
Which we have, and it's on the agenda.
Sure, okay. We had a videographer Zoom meeting. We haven't had one in a while, and then we scheduled another one. We did a brainstorming session on this 8th of February, and we came up with a list of projects that we're going to be working on. I checked the affiliates report on massaccess.telview.net.com, where we upload our programs, and we had three new affiliates join: Somerville, Mass, Salem, Mass, and Algoma City, Wisconsin. And since I typed this up, we've had another couple join.
So anywhere in the country?
Well, I have an option of
Access.
clicking Massachusetts or
Oh,
nationwide,
okay.
so I click nationwide.
That's cool.
Yeah,
That really is.
Yeah.
Good. I like that.
and these 3 are all uploading story or downloading story
Yeah,
time.
The hell, they're gonna download Red Sox, right?
I got to careful what I say about Wisconsin now.
I know.
Maddie finished a conservation trail project like the one that Dave mentioned earlier. She did a fantastic job. She interviewed Bob Pease, and it was really great. It's now airing. The Safety Center Complex project was done. I didn't put the person who did it in here. I don't know why, but Dan Seminator put that together along with Maddie. They worked together. So those are now airing. I updated the Castus software to version 5. There were a lot of enhancements, especially with the formatting the video and so forth. So that worked out good. I scheduled a meeting, had the meeting already with Travis to discuss remote equipment. And I have
Portable equipment.
portable equipment, and I have that information with me. I'll circle around to that in a few minutes. We're getting one cabinet from the school department, and I am working on cleaning out the studio. I'm looking to get some space in the IT graveyard room here to store before we can actually dispose of the equipment. We have to wait until the seniors do their electronic disposal
Oh, they
fund
do the
drive.
yard sale.
They
Okay,
they
yeah.
do that every year. But I'm trying to get the old equipment out of here
Mhm.
and into that other room. I have to get the superintendent's permission to do that, and she hasn't gotten back to me yet. So
Okay.
I'm trying to just clear everything and make the studio a little bit better. We renewed our Mass Access membership. We hired a new videographer, Patrick McGuane. He started today, not on 2/9. Maddie Ross resigned. She's moving to New York, so her last day is tomorrow.
We knew that was a risk, unfortunately.
Yeah.
She was very good,
Yeah,
excellent experience.
very, very good videographer. Working with HR, editing the production technician job description. It's really minor edits. And I just got to check back in with Julie on that. She wanted to do some salary comparisons.
Didn't we already do that?
We did,
Personnel committee did that.
I don't remember. I don't remember doing that. I remember looking at a report that had some technical salaries on it.
Okay, but I thought this had to be passed through the personnel committee to come up with the base salary.
Right,
Okay.
right. I'll be double checking on her with that.
Thanks.
I created a podcast for talking baseball. I'm working with the lighting contractor and the procurement manager. We're getting quotes, 3 quotes for the lighting. I'd like to come back to you on that. That should be completed within the week. The other thing, I heard that Littleton was having a gubernatorial candidates forum, and I didn't want to send anybody. So Daniel at Castus and he got me the back end address to IP and stream the meeting
Mhm.
to our channel 8.
Okay.
So that worked out really
You
well.
actually got that to work.
Got it to work.
We should try and do that more often for
Yes.
that kind of thing,
Yes,
rather than try and do it ourselves.
right, right.
So that was.
I
good.
was really happy. That's the first
Yeah.
time we've done it.
Yeah,
Trying to work on fixing the Facebook live streaming flickering issue. It's a bit rate problem. I'm not still researching it. I set the bit rate at 400,000, which is 4 kbs. That's what Facebook recommends, and I'm watching the Facebook feeds now to see that the flickering is gone.
okay.
A while back, I trained Maddie and Dan how to do remote Zoom live broadcast. That's where the videographer is in their home, connecting the Zoom and sending it to broadcast. I provided them with instructions. Neither of them have done it yet. I will probably help the next person who goes to do that. I think I repeated myself on 25.
Sorry, what was 24?
Oh, yeah, sorry, yeah.
That's all right.
We got a replacement battery ordered for,
Didn't we just put in brand new UPC in the controller?
a couple of years ago.
No, the guy was there very recently putting one in.
Oh, yeah, but that still was a while ago.
Right, shouldn't have quit. Is that the one you're replacing, or is this a
I
different
think
one?
so. Yeah,
That doesn't sound good.
no.
Did they get it for us? Because this came through the DPW, didn't it? Through, what's his face, John somebody? No?
I don't think so.
Oh, I don't know where it came from.
It must have been, I must have ordered it. It would be in my records.
Okay, but I thought it wasn't very long ago.
It had to have been at least a year ago. And I also got camera covers for inclement weather. Called jackets, something jackets. I attended department head meetings, and they were focusing on FMLA and ARPA, American Rescue Plan Act funding. Town received $3.5 million for projects, which is probably going to go pretty fast because every department's starting to plan the use of that money.
I have an $80,000 suggestion for that.
Okay.
Which we can get to.
Senior Center was grabbing it this afternoon, I think.
Oh, is that right?
Oh, everybody's after the ARPA
Oh,
money.
of course.
And then in addition to those things, I do my regular things, which is under 27. And I did under archives.net or .org. They had a couple of movies that I grabbed for Saturday and Sundays father's little dividend, and even though I spelled it wrong. And his Girl Friday.
Great films.
Yeah. So I'm gonna continue to look in archives and see what else they have. The thing that I was gonna come back to was the annual report and
Annual report.
Sounds
annual town report, yeah.
Yeah. Bearing in mind, this is like 18 months old, by definition. the way they do it.
What's that?
Well, by the time this is done and they
Oh.
publish it and everything else,
It's old
It's good
news, yeah.
do it like this. Keep going. with
this
it.
thing.
Right there.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
that's right.
This one I asked you about, how come I'm not the vice chair?
Because when this was done.
I
you
will
weren't.
change that.
No, no, you
Um,
weren't.
Oh, because it was that.
This is my problem with the age of these things.
Okay, because then many of my suggestions then are probably not going to be one.
Okay,
Oh, are they newer?
this is during
Yeah.
FY 21.
Because
We're in FY
And this is
22.
gonna be published for a year,
It's going to be published in about
May.
3 months' time.
In, yeah, May,
so it'll be about a year behind.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
I wasn't joking when I said,
Yeah,
Okay,
I have to
so-
think back when I'm writing this, what happened last year?
I'm actually reading it with an alternate memory
All
plugged
right.
in.
yeah, well,
my
then
head.
most of my
Because-
comments are going to be
Okay.
worth.
Okay, so just bear in mind, FY 21.
Okay,
So this is anything
So
that
this
happened
is
before
The date of
July
June
of last
30th,
year. Yeah,
21, that's really the date.
that's
of
when it ends.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right,
Okay.
right.
yeah, because I
Sorry
was
about
wondering
that.
why, like the hearing aid accessibility
June
that we did,
31st.
we bought sound enhancement equipment so people could hear,
Yeah,
you know, that. The new casters to do the offsite streaming.
Actually,
You know,
yeah.
it's just
Steve,
not going to be in there. so.
keep that.
Oh,
Tuck it away.
Yeah,
somewhere.
tuck
You
it
can
away from
find
me
it in about a year's
because-
time, because that's exactly what you'll need.
All right, well, then my only thing is, in your actual file, Microsoft has said there are a couple of grammatical or spacing errors.
Yeah,
There should be a period here. I know that's a biggie.
where is that on the
That right
first
here,
page?
First page. And there was another
Oh.
spot where there's a spacing error. So if you just check the
There are a couple
document,
of spacing errors. in
it's in green on the document in
Where,
Microsoft Office.
And it
I
was-
didn't write down where those. were,
Oh,
because I
okay,
said,
so,
You know, you print it out, I didn't wanna,
your formatting is different from mine.
well, because that's her format.
Ah. So
But
that,
in my,
that
you
that
did
bit
this in
there I've
Office
got on the
or,
next page.
Microsoft Word,
yeah,
Yeah.
it'll show you where the spacing errors are. The
Okay.
spacing errors, I wasn't concerned, but the period I figured
yes,
needed to be in there,
yes.
because I read it. Um,
No, mine's formatted differently.
is it?
Yeah.
This is formatted, the one that you sent
This
me.
is, I just printed this out,
Yeah.
but I've got programming and then it's just those two after it. You've got,
No, that's what he has.
no, he's got more lines than I have on his first page.
This, he doesn't have this bottom part.
Is it,
I don't even have the line or it's here.
is it your printer?
No,
Did I send you the wrong one?
I print,
he has till here. And when you turn
no,
the
it's not the
page,
same as.
no,
Steve's.
however, the total number public,
These are.
It was
Steve,
just your
Steve.
printer.
no. Decrease, you have through here,
Yeah, it's,
local program,
it's there, but it's just
Featured
paged
project.
differently.
here it is.
That's why I couldn't find the problem. Thank you.
Welcome.
So
Your
any,
letters are bigger,
any comments on page 2?
but there are just the other things are spacing.
So I'll look
Just look
online
for the
and see.
green, yeah.
Well, just,
I didn't mark those,
okay,
because I was trying to get, I think you wanted info stuff.
Right,
so on what I have as page 2,
Yeah.
the
Is
pie
that-
chart, if you can persuade entertainment to be,
Now on mine,
to make entertainment what?
mine is
Mine.
inside the box.
oh, mine's outside the box because it wouldn't fit in.
He's looking at this.
We're gonna have to be careful what gets sent because we don't want,
You know what,
we
you
want
could have
it
a different version,
malformatted.
you could have a different version of Office.
I doubt it. I'm on subscription, so it updates every year.
Mine is 11 years old. I don't know how
Mine
old
is
it
old.
is old. We
Okay.
have the old version, you have the
So
newer
be
version
careful
that
because
has,
they're probably going to get what I printed.
No, she'll get mine.
You're gonna send it as a Word doc or a
Yeah,
PDF?
Word, or I was gonna send it as Word, but I could kind of freeze it and put it in
Yeah.
PDF.
That
It
probably a
doesn't matter
better
to
idea.
them,
All right,
because then you can look at the PDF and make sure it's,
It's
Okay.
Presented the way you want.
like, because that's a great thing right here.
Yeah, I mean,
Under the new word,
that's what it did for me.
entertain me, it's 15%. See, the NT is over there.
Mhm.
So it just
okay,
makes it look weird.
Okay.
I'll take a look at what it,
Moving right along. Do you have any Pete or no? Shall I just go through mine?
Yeah,
You guys are talking Greek to me.
Hey, what? Oh,
I do not do this.
so I have, this is another formatting error. I have a number of ones.
oh, by
where I split
providing
the
that,
line.
that's in ours too.
Let's split the line differently.
what page are we looking at?
Well, that's the trouble. We're not all on the same pages.
What section?
Mine is, it's
Before
before
channel
99.
Oh, it's right here, page 2. I saw that too. Thanks
Yeah.
for bringing that up right here,
I
by
can give,
providing,
I can give you this one,
Yeah.
page 2.
except it's page 3.
Oh, here,
Yeah.
okay, I will fix that.
And the next but one paragraph has the same thing.
No, not in hers,
No, mine does.
but yours does.
I have to take out the continuous stream. I did some research and YouTube will only continuous stream for up to 12 hours. So we can't do a stream of channel 8.
Oh,
We can't do it. We can send meetings to channel 8 when we're broadcasting them
Yeah.
if we want to.
okay. Anyway. this
So I
is-
need to
this is last
fix
year's.
this.
That's last year. That's what we were doing.
Were you doing it last year?
Oh, last year, oh, see, I get messed up again, off and on. I think I'd
So
rather,
just leave it if that's what we were doing last year.
okay,
Then the thing, the YouTube links are repeated. I've got them in twice. So there, you've got them right over the page somewhere.
Page 2, the top of page 2 and the bottom of page 2.
I see. Government programs.
Those are-
Local producing government list to YouTube channel. Links to the YouTube.
Yeah, we just had that section where the two links are in the document more than once. I didn't know if you meant to do that.
I did not, so let me take
Yeah,
the
but they're labeled
bottom.
differently.
They shouldn't be because.
Oh, they're two different channels, okay,
you
But,
know- You know what?
but I didn't have this
Can't-
channel
can't-
last
you
year.
didn't, so you gotta get rid of that.
I'm getting rid of this whole,
All right, so it's good that we
Section.
looked at it.
yeah,
Well, I'm still looking at it. What page are you on? I'm on page 11.
We're on page 2. This is
So,
for the reading
studio and equipment,
accessibility.
studio and equipment,
okay,
that paragraph.
Mhm.
Towards the end, it said town departments in the use of public accesses resources. There's an of missing there. First paragraph.
first paragraph, okay, we encourage the public to take advantage of the facilities and the PAC manager also in the use
Of,
of,
That's a good catch. I didn't fix that.
okay, next paragraph, I was absolutely happy with. The one after that, I have got two line breaks in there that confuse it. Yeah, so I'll give you
So-
this one.
Yeah, take his, so you'll see.
well, I would rather use my
You
own
want it.
notes, which,
No, so you can look through and see what's,
okay,
Double
check. So you
what
can
is the
check that.
next one?
It doesn't happen, only on his.
only happens on mine.
Oh,
Ours is good.
okay,
He just wants to give you his so that you can, if you're
I
double
see.
checking, you can say, oh.
okay,
Then under staff producers and volunteers. The end of the first paragraph, the FY 21 and, well, the pages don't
Page
match
4.
yours.
Page 4.
okay, take out the word and,
No, you can still have it. But there needs to be a space between FY 21 and,
there is on mine.
oh, is there? There isn't on mine.
Nope.
All right, I'll circle it to make sure I
Actually, there isn't a space.
check the space.
Would be bigger.
Well, maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
It
So
could be that it's missing the
should be a
space. It
space
looks
there.
okay, but it is kind of,
Oh, yeah,
Correct.
yeah.
so,
I'm gonna
Okay.
check space. I put it in here, so.
okay.
So I think, I don't know, I didn't mark this up, further down when you're.
Next page, just top of page 5 for us.
When the paragraph starting channel 99 and public channel 9 airing 7 times a week. That's actually not a sentence.
No, because it starts
Oh,
on the
that's-
previous page.
No, that's where
Oh.
I've got a,
He's got one of these.
I've got one of those line breaks.
We have a page break.
Story
that's
time
what
is now
story
featured on the
documents are
educational
channel.
channel
Channel
99
Yeah.
and channel 9.
So I got a whole gap, so I'll give you this. But isn't this is in here more than once, talking baseball and story time.
Yeah,
You know what, were they being shared in FY 21?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, story time started over a year ago. September a year ago.
September the year before last, so it is in FY 21, just
Mhm.
checking. Okay. Then, under financials,
Okay,
Page 5,
7,
5.
6,
Hi.
settle on 6. We have an issue here only because it'll be misunderstood. And we have, what you put here, the overall revenue from Comcast was 200,000, rough numbers, down 20% from FY 20. And the problem is FY 20 had a capital infusion in it, which we don't get every year. But if we don't say something about that, people will look at it saying, our funding has gone down 20% in a year. See what I'm
right.
saying?
So in the parentheses, should I put includes Comcast
Right, you put,
capital infusion?
so, right, but
Biannual.
no, it's ending.
It's ended.
So you
The
could put-
last
last, that's a good word, I
Good.
like that.
includes last
Last capital
Comcast.
infusion from the
From
Comcast
Comcast.
contract. You know all those Cs?
So everyone knows it's the last time you're gonna get any extra
Right, I
money.
don't want them to look at it, and say cable cutting, it went down 20%.
Mhm.
That's all I'm trying to. I'm also trying to prove I did read this.
Oh, you have all the knowledge of what actually happened.
No, oh, you, because I'm really old, you mean?
No, you've been
So-
through it all 1,000 times.
That's
So
my
that
copy, you
come-
can have that one.
Okay,
I can always print another one just as bad.
I guess so.
speaking of Comcast, the feed from Comcast is not coming through at the control room, so I've been on the phone with them and they're gonna
Oh.
send a technician out.
So you were talking about money fee.
No, no. And the other thing I wanted to,
What feed do you mean? Oh, you mean the. for us
Comcast
to be able
feed
to
for us
see
to
what's
see.
actually on the cable.
Mhm.
Do we get it here?
I'm assuming so.
We should check that because they may
Yeah.
have screwed up our account or something.
All right, I'll check it
which
before
would
we,
Kill that one as well.
okay, I'll
By
check
the
it
way,
before
we
we
do
go.
need the third box there. And didn't you get a four screen to one screen converter?
Yes.
So if you can get the third box in, we can set that up on one TV. And then Jamie won't have to come in with his electric drill again.
Okay. Okay.
He owes me one on that.
The next thing I want to talk about just briefly is we had a quote in from Jonathan Lipsy for a used trust system for $1,850.
Just keep going in order.
Does everyone?
Oh,
know
that's,
that?
you're right there. It's the next.
It's the other side of this page.
He came in and did measurements a couple of months ago. Came up with this proposal or quote for us for a used truss installation, shipping charges. And typically a new truss uninstalled, not shipped or whatever, just the prices of trust, a new truss system is in the $5,000 range. So I want approval.
This is one that they, yeah, which way do we want to approve it? Because I hadn't noticed before that because we're not going to be able to buy the lights at the same time,
Mhm.
because that's going through RFP, RFI, whatever.
Mhm.
He's going to want us to going to charge us $400 to put it up.
Mhm.
Well, it's like being an erector set. So I'm wondering if DPW or somebody like that should put it together. So it just bolts together. Rather than us paying them $400 to do that. Or we need a gentleman's agreement. I'm sorry to use just that word, but that's the way it's used. Gentle person's agreement. That they won't charge us installation for that because we will be buying the lights from them. But that's presuming the RFP comes through for them.
Yeah, their quote was favorable to the second quote that we got. And we're waiting for one more quote.
Okay,
So at this point, if we were deciding today, Jonathan
yeah,
came in lower.
did get the whole deal.
Well, he came in lower, it would be
Yeah.
your decision, yeah,
Oh, yes, I'm sorry.
yeah. But do you want me to discuss with him the installation charge? I think it would, I mean, if you want my opinion,
Okay, go.
I think it would be best to have him install it because he would be responsible for the system if
Okay.
anything went wrong. And secondly, we could always push the installation out until the lighting is ordered.
That was the one I was going to suggest, that they deliver it. Maybe we could put it in a different classroom for the time being.
Mhm.
And then when the lighting's done, he just takes it and puts it up.
Mhm.
Oh, that would work.
That's what I was
And
wondering.
if you don't do the lighting from him, then you would just have to,
Well,
DPW will get a group of people to put it together,
Yeah.
so to speak.
actually, I want to put it together. It looks like fun.
That might be the way to go. Then you have
Okay.
to-
I will talk to Jonathan. However, before I talk to him, I want to see where we are with the quote process, if he is in the running still. Last I checked, he was. So
Okay.
um,
What you need is a motion from somebody
Yeah,
here.
I'll make a motion that
Not
we
to
get the
exceed.
used trust system from Akara's company,
Not to exceed $2,000.
not to exceed.
I'm just trying to.
Yep.
And
Does that work for you?
Mhm.
Okay,
do we have a second? Jeff, do we have a second? He raised his hand. Good for Jeff.
I could,
well,
Okay, any further discussion on Joe buying a used truss?
ooh,
It just sounds wrong.
what century are we
That's
talking
all.
really
about? What
does.
century now? What century?
We'll kick in for a new one for you.
Yes, right.
Whalebones, the whole bit, whalebone.
Oh, no.
Okay, change of subject.
No, we need to finish this one. By roll call, all those in favor, Pete,
Aye.
Jeff,
I,
Steve,
Aye.
Steve, aye. No further discussion, nothing else that passed. Thank you.
Okay, I will talk to
Okay, yeah.
our procurement person and Jonathan. The rest is Patrick McGuane's resume, in case you want to take a look. I have after the resume, I have meeting notes from my meeting with the department head meeting regarding ARPA. I think everyone knows what it is and what's going on.
I
But-
thought it was for old people.
It's the notes just, it can be used for what it can't be used for. And
Should we briefly discuss what did I send an email out just to you?
just me.
Okay. Because Joe had sent out that or just to me or to everybody? You
I think
sent
I
out?
sent it to, I think I just sent it to you,
Okay.
these meeting notes and
So
everything.
I got an email saying that we were an approved destination for some of the money.
Good.
And I came up, well, I thought I had the email with me, but I don't. Principal thing
Bless
I
you.
came up with, which I think we should really give serious consideration to, is real-time captioning. Because what you do with the Board of Selectmen, it takes the audio stream and adds a caption on automatically. It's not a stenographer with a little machine going like this. It's all hidden away in magic electrical stuff. So that we could put on the bottom of our screen captioning is a slight delay. It's not very long at all from the ones that I've seen. The trouble is it's about $80,000. So with our typical budgets and what we're trying to do, there's no way we could do something like that. But it's access improvement, gets out to more people. We can make a whole case for it, which is what I would like to do.
Well, Castus
We have
offers
time, yeah.
captioning. And
Real
it's
time?
even, yes,
Really?
yes, and it's even better because it does post-meeting editing of captioning of files.
Yeah, but I wanted real time.
No, yeah, it's on the screen when they're, yeah,
So it's on the screen as we broadcast.
yes.
Okay,
Yes, the only thing is, I looked into this a little while ago. We
Okay.
started going down that road, but we need to
yeah,
talk to Castus further. But what you have to do is subscribe to their video on demand, which
Okay.
is great. We could use that anyway.
How much is that?
I forget how much it is, but I can gather up some more
but
information,
it's an annual fee.
an annual fee.
No, this is for the hearing impaired?
Yes,
That's the point?
Yeah.
Can you shut it off?
well, just turn your hearing.
You know when you watch a movie, you can put closed captioning on the movie, or you can turn it
I
off.
said that would work then, because I don't want to watch.
Oh, no, I hate it.
Hmm.
My gym has it all the time,
Hmm.
and it's always right on the important bit, like the
Right.
scores.
Or you can't see it
Yeah,
because it's on white.
right. Could you, we've got time on this, is my understanding. This isn't-
Yeah.
We have to do it immediately. Could you find out what it would really cost? Actually, we could do both of them will be good. What it would really cost through Castus to do real-time closed captioning. And I think it was Danvers when we were there wasn't the guy there was talking about it.
I forget.
They had 3 or 4 little stands you walk past as we went in. Somebody there was, because they said if you do it with a person, it's $100 an hour.
Oh, yeah. I just happened to open up my notes in the last time I was talking about video on demand with Castus. And I had sent out an overview to you guys with the pricing.
Don't remember that.
Okay, because what it is, there's tiered options for video on demand, which include live captioning. And the tiered options range from $299 a year up to $5,000 a year. The live captioning is done by hours. It can be, 1,000 hours, or we can determine how many hours based on our meetings. And that can go up to $7,800. I'm not sure if that is yearly
I imagine so.
or one time.
And is there an extra charge for the New England version? Because you don't say ours. So the software has to figure out, is there an R
Yeah.
here?
Yeah, we want the New England version, we want the
So you
Boston
want
version.
the translation, you need the translation, the New England.
I need to talk to you about what to eat.
I'm sorry, I just figured it would
I've been
be
there
a
before.
humorous aside.
Summertime.
So, okay, so that's some
Okay.
basics, but I'll get more information.
But you do it through Cassis would be, these guys pay for it.
No, I doubt they would pay for it.
Well,
Right.
I would like to know if
What-
they would reimburse us for it.
Oh, I don't
Because-
think they would, because it's ongoing. And when the money runs out, then we're liable for it, which is a problem.
So
If we just bought the standalone one, I mean, it's open for discussion. If we bought the standalone one, we'd own it. Now, there may be a service charge annually.
because I'm thinking that money is a one-time
That's
thing,
what I'm thinking.
one time. And, if this is a yearly fee, they're not gonna go.
Right.
They're not gonna.
But we
use that
should
money.
Well, the
find-
But there are
added,
other things, I
the
don't know if there
added-
are other things that we should look at for $80,000.
the other thing I put down was a $500,000 bonus for every member of the PAC committee.
I would donate that to
So I
What about non-committee members?
didn't put that in. You saw my email.
Very funny.
Just
They're donated to my spouse.
Well, unofficial
yeah,
committee members as well, Joe.
there you go. But we'll have to cut it down. There's only 3.5 million in the pot.
Oh, everybody is spending it. You should see
I
meetings.
know, it's
Everybody has it
Which
spent.
is why, we should make sure we have what we
Oh,
want.
we should make a proper case for what we
Proper
want.
case, that's a solid case for what we'd like to get.
Yeah.
So that, yes, you can have it.
Would you actually have Travis find out how much a compatible standalone real-time closed captioning system would be?
Sure.
Because that's why we have him, right? So he can do things.
Oh, yeah.
And then, so we can compare what we're doing.
Hire someone for 2 years.
Oh, the kiss and the little square. So.
Right.
Okay.
I think that's about it. I did take we're gonna talk about the budget, but just to let you know, I did take the budget that you prepared and put it into the town required spreadsheet.
Okay.
Yeah, it all came out the same, but I just
That's
had to,
encouraging.
yeah.
So we can talk about that because we need to get too close to approving that. We're gonna run out of time.
Yep, I have a few questions on that.
Good, but we're not doing that
I know, we're
just
not.
yet. We're
We
almost
have
there.
to do,
What else have you got, Joe?
I think,
you have
That
your
is-
monthly financial report.
oh, yes, there's nothing of great.
There's nothing left in the account.
No, the budget, the current balance in our account is 857, 768
And 97 cents.
All right.
and 97 cents. People that haven't gotten logo clothing are getting logo clothing now.
Okay.
Our new person, a couple other people, so that's gonna be an expense. As far as our calendar, I have a new February calendar I printed out if you care to see it. There's been some changes. Nothing major for February.
Joe, you want to talk about story time?
Mhm.
It's on here. You read my note today.
Mhm.
I think that's would be viable,
What?
that you just skip your groups.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we'll do that.
Because I don't want to get to a point where calling people every single show to try to get them. 'Cause
Right,
It was working pretty well. with
Right.
One group come in every, 4 times a year,
right.
okay? And you had enough to carry over until group one comes back. Fortune's been doing theirs in March.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Good.
Yep.
So just scratch this.
Yep, so that can come off. Nothing of note. We did, just a small note, we did do a basketball game on Friday, the 11th of February, Dan and Eric, and I downloaded it and listened to it, and I cannot air it unless I edit out a lot of audio. It was picking up some very colorful language.
Really?
And I'd really like to air the game, so I may go through the audio and lower it in places, and, I mean, it's a lot of work, but
Mm.
'Cause
Yeah.
bleeping it is almost as bad as leaving it in.
mhm.
Everybody knows what bleep is.
Can you run it silent? Just cut this down.
I can run parts of it silent. I kind of want to keep the crowd, yeah, so I have to go through and listen to the whole game and start pulling out the audio where it gets
Is it
nasty.
the crowd language or somebody else?
Crowd.
Or it wasn't just someone nearby.
Well, what Dan did is he used a wireless microphone and put it on the commentator's stand. So it was probably the commentators
Oh.
talking,
By
on the
themselves.
side.
That was out.
someone was saying,
whatever.
that person beat the, you know what, out of that other person. And I was
Stuff
like,
that's
if
the-
I didn't listen to this before we uploaded it,
Yeah, right.
we would have been in trouble.
Should we also have a conversation, I use the word we loosely, with the director over there to say they got to stop this because it's,
You gotta wonder though.
I
as
don't want to blow it out of
commentators,
proportion.
They probably turn their mics off.
Yeah,
that's the problem, but they need to know.
Dan told them,
Oh, he did.
but I think they didn't remember.
These are kids.
No. Well, it sounded like kids, so it might have been some kids near.
Oh, they may have
The
been-
mic-
I didn't mean kids with kids running the mics. Commentators.
I don't know if they were kids or not. Usually they're not.
Or their parents.
I don't know. It sounded like kids were saying so-and-so beat the such and such.
Could be someone near the commentator.
I think it was someone near the commentators, yeah.
Can we-
Commentators have to be made aware that they're live.
Right,
They were made aware,
Yeah.
No,
and Dan says he thinks they just forgot.
Yeah.
yeah, they need to be made more aware. The alternative is to take an audio feed from the commentator's box, which that'll take.
We don't use that,
Oh, you just one camera?
one camera.
Okay, but you should still be able to set up, or we can make a way of setting it up. We take an audio feed from the box.
We don't have an audio feed to put, we don't bring audio. We don't have a box for audio.
No, I mean the commentator's box.
Oh, right,
We need to be able to take a feed from that box.
into the camera.
Into the camera, yeah.
Yeah.
It's on the other side of the gym,
I just run a wire across the ice, nobody will notice it.
right across the gym floor,
Oh, I
Yeah.
thought this was
Why?
the hockey one, this is
No.
basketball?
basketball.
Oh, sorry, I thought it was the hockey one.
Oh, nobody was.
No.
Huh.
So anyway, I thought you should be made
We
aware of
finished-
that.
We finished basketball. for the
We're
year.
finished.
Yep.
Yeah,
So we should be aware of this and make sure the right people manage things properly when we start the next season.
well, yeah, I mean, I think Dan did all the right things. Dan and Eric did a
Yeah.
great job, and I just, for some reason, said, let me
Good thing.
listen to
Wow,
this
yeah, it's a good
before
job.
I
Yeah,
put it up, because I do remember watching it on Facebook Live and hearing some background conversation,
Hmm.
and I texted them and said, please let the people around you know
Mhm.
that they're getting picked up.
Can't they
but-
separate themselves better than that,
No, it gets crowded in the gym.
really?
Yeah, it's
Because
the
game-
best vantage
game I
point.
watched was many people there, so it wasn't a problem. I think there was more than COVID, I guess.
Yeah,
Okay,
okay.
Hmm.
But on a sports note, I met with Patrick McGuinn today, his first day. And we were talking about projects. I'm gonna put him on some of the brainstorming projects that the videographers came up with. At least so we can do 2 camera shoots. But he has a huge interest in hockey. Hockey's over now, but he thought, why don't I do a postseason interview with the coach and do a little
Okay.
hockey thing? So that was really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're at 50-50 in our program analysis, 50% local, 50%
Okay.
access share. And we're working really hard to get that local up. As I mentioned, the safety complex video Dan did was
Mhm.
fantastic, and the conservation trails that Maddie did was fantastic, so that was great. The next is my Teradek remote usage instructions and the annual report. So that's all I have.
Okay, any further questions for Joe? Jeff, anything for Joe?
No, sounds good.
Thank you. In that case, thank you, Joe. Appreciate all of that.
You're welcome.
So somewhere I have, well, let me tell you what the issue is. This drives me, oh, there we go. But the other things for, sorry, I just found the email for ARPA, the old age program. Real-time captioning, 80,000, purchase not subscription is what I put as a suggestion. This is just to think about. And Jeff, can you put AARPA on the agenda for next month as well, please?
What is it?
AARPA.
AARPA, isn't that,
It's ARP.
mean,
Double- double-
isn't that for everybody in the room right there? AARP?
Have a care.
It's coming for you too, buddy.
Right. Isn't it ARPA?
AAR, I've got you wondering, AARPA, American,
Association of Retired People.
Yes, that's the one. I thought it was, okay. Whatever your meeting notice says, where's your meeting notice?
no, I'm sorry, it's ARPA.
Okay, so put that agenda, please.
ARPA.
Yes,
So the things I put in the email, and please try and come up with other stuff for the next meeting, everybody. Real-time captioning, which my understanding is about 80K, but Joe will get a thing for it. Purchase, not subscription, but we need to understand the subscription, so we make proper case. 2 owls at 4K each, no, 4K altogether, 2 hours. The third one was 5G cellular hotspot that we can use. All of this helping to improve the service that we're offering to the town, in particular with the captioning for hearing impaired. Okay, says he, pulling his earphone out.
Was there a request for that?
There was briefly, and we kind of ignored it. Somebody came up with it in the select board.
Well, you brought it up once, someone over in Green Hills area called and wanted to do it.
Yeah,
Remember that?
we
I'm sorry, what are we talking about?
caption.
Captions.
Oh.
We did talk about that about a year ago.
Yeah,
Someone-
it was quite a
A
long
single
time
person
back.
made
Yeah.
made a request.
And that's the problem, because it went through the select board and then came to us.
Hmm.
Somebody made the request of the select board. and-
Yeah, and Heather asked me about it, and that's when I sent out the information from Castus. I think that getting it from Castus adds the extra bonus of having our video on demand in the cloud, so
Oh,
anybody
sure.
can go to any of our programs.
But we need to work on it now.
Okay,
Okay, so the next item on the agenda is not a spreadsheet. We are scheduled to go, got it in. Hey, that's the first time tonight. Come on. you can-
no, I heard you say it to Pete earlier.
He said garage too.
Yeah, yeah, we gotta learn him.
That's where I do. my
We gotta learn
winter
him.
button. Meanwhile, back at the ranch. We have a FinCom, Financial Committee, presentation on the 24th of March this year. The town date for the town meeting warrants to close is the 21st of March, which means we won't have our budget approved by the time the warrant is done. So I took an older one. Heather says this is all right, okay? So I will read this to you, and I'm looking for a vote on it. So what we have to do is we do it without numbers, and when the motion is put together actually for the town meeting, the numbers are put in. Like last year where they put them in, they weren't the same as the ones we'd agreed. Meanwhile, back at the ranch. So the warrant that I'm proposing is to see if the town will vote to raise and appropriate or transfer from available funds a sum of money to fund the financial year 23 public educational government, parentheses PEG, access enterprise, that's what we call because of the way the funding is, operating and capital budgets, so it's all in the one warrant, or take any other action relative thereto submitted by us. Heather says the general form of this article is good. That's all she said. So that's all we can do at the moment, but we absolutely have to have, you know, the placeholder in there, otherwise we have no money. So if somebody would care to make a motion.
Motion to accept the warrant as read.
Second,
Any further comment? Hearing none by roll call. Pete,
yes.
Jeff,
Yes,
Steve,
Yes,
Steve, yes. So being unanimous, so I will send this in to, I think it's Elaine Patterson, is that right?
Peterson, yep.
And ask her to give me a receipt for it, so we know it's in there. 1 year, probably before you were either involved, we put it in and we couldn't put the capital in for some reason. And they were supposed to get back to us. Nobody did. And it went to the annual meeting with no capital at all. And that was the first we found out about it. Remember, we had to go.
Yeah, but
to the-
30,000 did go in.
No, not this last year. This is about 3 years ago.
Oh,
Before we
oh,
had the
yes,
Enterprise,
yes,
we had to go in front of FinCom.
yes.
And get on the town emergency
Mhm.
funds,
Mhm.
just in case we had a catastrophic failure. Everybody good? So I have, and I sent to everybody. This is printed sideways.
She printed it. I can do this to make you feel
Yeah,
better.
that would make me feel better. I sent out a spreadsheet which has, did you not, I didn't bring copies of it. did
She
you?
has it in there. It is second to last page.
Oh, so you, which one
I
is,
printed it out.
oh, so that's the one I sent you,
Yes,
not the new and improved
not the town
presentation,
one,
but the same numbers.
right.
Okay,
Okay.
so what I would like to do with this, are all the columns on that? No, no,
Yeah, they're over here.
what are they doing over there?
Well, because she printed it sideways.
I got those, but we've got these,
Yeah, they're,
the notes.
oh, yeah, the notes.
Oh,
Yeah.
it didn't have room for the notes.
Right.
But she should have. printed
So
it the other
we'll,
way.
we'll talk about them.
Yeah, I
So
should
what
have.
I would like to do, if we can, because we
Perfect
really
world.
need to make this the way we want it and pass it today, so that I can then take this and process it into the presentation that we do for the FinCom,
Right,
and I can bring that to the next meeting. So if you have it in front of you, which I trust everybody does.
Yep.
Salaries for PEG access proposed is $54,267.
assuming it's correct.
We spent a lot of time trying to make sure they work.
And
So-
that includes, I have a longevity
Yeah.
line item that's also included in that number that I will be receiving in November.
That's called the AARP improvement.
I was waiting for Jeff to chime in.
Yes.
Sorry, Jeff, you lost that opportunity.
Yeah, that was true.
Hey, don't worry, you get a free donut at Dunkin' Donuts with a coffee.
What? Do you really?
Yeah, yeah.
Because I'm going to qualify for that soon. Okay, so the first one we're okay with.
Yep.
Going to mark my next line, I can't do second line.
Videographer.
Videographers have to be employees now. They're part-time, they're unbenefited. And we put in 25,000 for all of them for the whole financial year. Does anyone want to change that?
No.
Hearing none. Production tech is the new person, whoever it might be. For a whole year, that includes benefits. But that number there is only the salary part of it. The benefits part of it is way down the. spreadsheet.
Indirect costs, yeah.
Okay, okay.
We're good with that?
Yeah, because I have a question on that. Mhm. Good, yep.
Okay, the next line, I hope you agree with, because I had the spreadsheet added up. Okay, office space, we pay 6,000 a year lease on
I knew
this.
that was coming.
I know, but you asked Heather about it.
Yeah, I did. She gave me a roundabout answer.
Yeah, well, what do you expect? The real problem is it's like 50 cents a square, it's 50 cents a square foot per month. So you won't find that anywhere commercial. So that's $6,000. Anyone have any questions or comments?
Nope.
Vendor expenses, Joe will tell you what they are, $500.
Vendor expenses would be something used if we needed a vendor to come in to do training or
Okay,
basic consultant, not
Okay,
like one-time consultant work
yeah,
kind of thing.
access AV type of thing.
Exactly.
all right.
We good with that?
Is that, Was that something like Robert Haig?
Yes.
Yeah.
We've been desperately trying to remove the legal expenses one for the last 3 years.
They said no.
That was there to do the contract for Comcast. And we can't get rid of the line. So we're still keeping it as zero unless we put the truss up ourselves and maybe we'll need it. So, the $1,100 for purchase of service, which is
The bulletin administrator falls
Oh.
under that.
Andrea, is that her name?
And
Andrea LaFord.
Also, LaFord, hey, I was close.
Yeah,
That's
or
impressive.
Andrea, sorry, it's Andrea.
Yeah,
so stupid question for me, I suppose. Does this
No.
include the purchase of the new TriCaster? Or we got something new?
Oh, the Pterodac?
Yeah, the pterodac. I
No,
couldn't remember the name
that
of it.
goes under a different line item.
Okay,
we shall come to that.
This is
Okay.
purchase of services is basically anyone who's almost like contracting with us, using their own equipment, using their own space.
okay, so it's not like the subscriptions we do for music or this or
No.
that. Okay, that's, I wanted to make sure I understood
No,
that.
Okay.
please.
Then I'm good with that.
Okay, consultant services, 1,500.
That would be Travis right
Okay.
now. Yep.
Oh, it says so in the notes. Does it say so in your note?
No.
Side one.
We good with 1,500
Yep.
for that? Advertising, 1,000. We got the sense we might need to do a little more than we have been.
Mhm.
It was 500 before, but we haven't even spent much of it. In the scheme of things, it's not very big anyway.
I'd leave it at 1,000.
You're good with 1,000?
I am, because
Yeah.
at some point, because we're trying to get space.
Yeah.
And this and that, and we may need to get some word out to people
Yeah.
what we do, so
Absolutely.
that when they go to town, wait, whoa, what
Right.
about Pat?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think we need to reserve
Right.
the right to have some money to
Mhm.
do that.
Mhm.
How do we go about advertising?
I don't know, but. I
Right,
think-
right now.
We
it
could
is the-
advertise in the Ledger. I wrote an
Yeah, that's
article
true.
for them regarding a kitchen studio for TCP. For some reason, she took the article and printed it,
Yeah.
and the school committee tried to get something in the paper,
Yeah,
and they wanted to charge them.
quite a bit.
Really?
I didn't even ask. I just said, here's for publication.
They're
Yep.
grateful to get stuff generally.
I was shocked
You don't want to talk.
when
to me.
Carol told me that.
Okay, people good with that?
So good you're doing your thing.
Oh, by the way, the advertising
friend.
includes the
Who is?
Oh, the t-shirts?
Oh, is she?
logo clothing comes under advertising as well.
No, nothing against her. What's that?
Logo.
The logo
clothing
shirts
comes
and
under
Logo clothing comes out of advertising.
Copy my.
Just so you know,
took it too easy.
equipment maintenance and supplies. Whoops.
Oh, office
No, sorry.
supplies.
Office supplies.
Yeah,
That's what it says.
that's paper and all that stuff,
Paper and-
right? Staple.
Yeah. I still have my supplies that I
Stole.
inherited.
Inherited, I'm sorry, that was the word. I know.
From 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago.
Right.
It's all
Some
It's all
office
over
was
there.
closing down somewhere.
in Cambridge, yeah.
Yeah.
They used to call it midnight requisitioning.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So equipment maintenance and supplies, so that's things like batteries if we need.
Yearly fees for subscriptions,
Yeah.
memberships. That I would go there to buy camera covers. That's our most active account. I use that account quite a lot.
So that's not usable for capital equipment.
Exactly, but
Okay.
but
So
you
the
can buy
subscription
regular equipment.
stuff, and if we subscribe to a service.
Yeah.
It comes under, okay, that answers.
Yeah,
Good with that?
Yep,
Questions, comments?
That's where the music would come from,
yes,
music service.
yes.
Then we have new equipment that is capital. We normally put 30,000 in for catastrophic failure. So if the Castus explodes, we can buy a new one.
the new computers you wanted, is that part of that 30,000?
Should be.
It would be.
And that's okay in the 30,000?
Yeah, it should be.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was just thinking.
No,
Yeah,
fine.
because we would be buying our lighting this year. And we'll
that's-
still have some left over
That's
after
22,
that.
yeah, right.
You don't have enough for computers.
30,000 should be enough.
The lighting's 20,000 with the new trust.
Well, but on the flip side, you just said catastrophic failures,
Yeah, if the Castus blows up, it's about 20,000. That's really what.
but
it
you're
is.
spending 20,000 on something. Wait,
Okay, the real tale is, this is the best number we can come up with.
okay. got it.
If we need to go over it,
We
they
can.
will let us move things around amongst line items.
Okay,
That is
I just
not
wanted to make
assured.
sure that you had enough money.
Cassis is not assured.
Well, we're insured under the town's insurance.
I don't think if it quits, we have service contracts on it.
Yeah,
Okay, I just wanted to make sure specifically you got the computers and that purchasing something else didn't say, oh, we forgot that we were doing this
Okay.
and this.
right. right.
And the computers.
Yeah.
Because I remember you saying these are
Yeah.
getting old and we probably, before
Okay.
we have catastrophic failure.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm good.
Any other questions? Health insurance, this line used to be a separate line and now it's got buried into indirect costs. So if we can get rid of that line, I'll be happy to do it, but right now it's zero. And indirect costs, this is a number given to us that covers all sorts of things, but primarily Joe's health insurance, the potential health insurance for a large family for the new position. We have to use the maximum
Mhm.
for budgeting purposes. And that I think comes out like 24,000. It's a
Right, my-
ridiculous number.
Family plan.
My
For a
part of
family
it,
package, yeah.
my part of it last year came out to, and it's probably gonna go up, the Karen mentioned there was a certain percentage increase in
Yeah.
healthcare. But my part of it, because I'm an individual, is only like 16,000. So,
Family plan is way more expensive.
yeah,
Anyway, this is,
Yep.
that's
Because I
what
had-
it is. It's a number we've been given.
And-
That's also something that Karen will be at FinCom meeting and can adjust if necessary.
Yeah, my question was, is that where we pay the town for any other service other than health?
Things like the town's part of social security,
Oh, okay,
those various, there's the
certain
boxes you get,
taxes and,
miscellaneous,
okay, okay.
that stuff. So the next line is the PEG access expenses, which is what the machine added up. If you add that to the salaries as well. So moving the Comcast revenue, I did a calculation, which is on the next page. Did you print that one as well?
No, but I did read, I did read
I
that.
didn't see
Okay.
that, I didn't see the
Yes, I
next
did.
page.
was
What I
attached
did
at
is
the
I
bottom.
took the
Oh,
Comcast
right,
numbers from
Mhm.
August of 19.
Mhm.
Put them all in, and then in particular, I took the last 4 of them and averaged them and said that's about what we should be getting for the next
Yeah, and
year.
I had no problems with that.
You good with that as well?
Yep.
So that number, which is in Comcast revenue, 196,000.
Mhm.
Approximately, again, the same type of approach, 2,500 for the
Yep.
interest on the enterprise fund itself. This retained earning things confuses me every time we see it, but that's something that Karen gave to us. I don't know where it comes from.
Yeah, I was gonna ask about
that
that.
comes from our cash receipts. Or,
I don't know what that means.
It's the hat that's passed around at concert.
the
Yes,
funds that are certified
Right, this
every
is-
year,
right.
it comes out of that.
Yeah, but, okay. I'm just letting Karen do that one. I've had enough of trying to resolve these. But that apparently gives us 211,000. What I've done is I've taken the, so the total expense is 211,000, which is less than our annual income, the way we're structured at the moment. So if you take the Comcast revenue, the interest revenue, and this retained earnings revenue, our operations expenses have to be less than that, otherwise we can't keep going.
Right,
Capital comes out of the Comcast capital payments that have been made, and that they're all in our big fund. Everybody clear on that?
Mhm.
Because I'm
Could you explain, and this is
I'd like
This
to-
is 101 and I missed it. You said the expenses have to be less than
Right,
our revenue.
yes,
Okay.
you got it right.
I mean, I know that's simple math, but I was just wondering on here where,
Actually, they don't, but if we present it where our expenses are significantly less than our operations,
Mhm.
FinCom should panic. That's their
okay,
job.
okay.
Are we good with that?
Yeah, nice job.
Well, thank Joe as well, but thank you.
Yeah, nice job.
I've,
both of you, and thanks for explaining a couple of those things.
I've, like I said, I transferred these numbers on
Okay.
to Karen's worksheet.
Can you send that to me as
Yes.
well, please?
Yes,
So what I will do, just so we can put it all in the same motion if we want, I will take this information, put it into the presentation format that we use for FinCom, like I have previous years. So what I'm looking for is a motion to accept the budget as we can discuss it. Do you want to do it now?
A question. I still don't understand why we have to have legal expenses and health insurance on here.
No, neither do I.
I asked Karen to remove them. She said that she said she cannot.
Why?
It must be a town-wide.
This, when someone looked at this sheet, they'd say, well, why is that on there? And if there isn't, why are there no figures there?
I agree with you. I could approach it again.
What's even worse is somehow they could put them in. Why the hell can't they take them out?
Right.
Yeah,
I will approach her again and ask her why.
doesn't seem like any sense.
Yeah, Yeah.
You know what? I'm gonna put that in the FinCom presentation as well.
don't start poking people in the eyes.
So I'll make a motion to accept the budget as proposed.
And that
I second.
And you're authorized to make a presentation to FinCom and
Thank
the
you.
town meeting, or dot, dot, dot.
et cetera, et cetera. Jeff,
I
I
second.
second that.
I second.
Any further discussion?
And I would really like to have those removed though, because
So would I.
someone looks at this, they're gonna say,
Yeah.
you didn't put him in,
Yeah,
something's missing.
right.
Always looks suspicious to see a budget with it.
I'll
Zero
poke someone
line
at FinCom. You know I'll
No.
enjoy that.
I know I get stuck on that at school, Steve.
No, this is ridiculous. So by roll call, Pete,
Yes,
Jeff,
Yes.
Steve,
Yes,
Steve, yes. Okay. Everybody, quickly, fine, here we go.
that's everything.
So we approved the warrant. We reviewed and approved the budget. We discussed ARPA sort of accidentally as we went. We have time for that. Approval of used trust system. Did we approve that?
Yes,
yes.
I knew we talked a lot about it. We
Yeah.
approved it.
Yes.
We did, you're right, up to 2,000. Future studio space, we already had visitors, brought them in.
Well, we should discuss that.
Do you want to discuss it now?
Absolutely.
Oh, sure. In that case, that's,
I think this is pressing. This whole business that we heard tonight is a
Mhm.
pressing matter. And we need to follow it as best we can, as soon as we can.
okay,
And we're not gonna stay for. And this is an opportunity these fellows have set up for us.
Mhm.
If there's any way we can work this out, I think we should take advantage of it. And if it's a matter of meeting with this other committee first, to see if they have something to say about it.
They may have something to say about it.
But we shouldn't just say, thanks for coming, guys.
Yeah. Okay.
I
I mean,
agree
are
with
you-
looking into it. I have concerns because a standalone building, we've talked about it, there's maintenance, there's a
Right.
lot of outside things. And as you put it very wisely, we have enough money to outfit a studio.
Right.
So I don't mind looking into it, and I think it's a great idea, and we should. But we need to
I-
know where, how this is gonna happen.
Yeah.
I agree with everybody, but yeah, there's gonna be a lot of outside expenses that I don't think we can afford on our budget, just like in the snow, we're gonna have to pay for plowing. Where if we were in this or that building or whatever building, the town will take care of that. So yeah,
Yeah, there are
Mhm.
costs.
Yeah.
involved.
I
Yeah.
think we need to, as Pete was saying, to, at least for the moment, with an open mind, go to it so we can properly present the case whichever way it turns out makes the most sense.
Yes,
So
I
I
agree.
think we as a committee need to agree we want to do this first.
Yeah,
I
Or
definitely
go to
wanna
the next
research it.
phase.
Yes,
I-
yes.
I want to move into this. I'm
Okay.
not sold on it, but I want to go into and
Yeah.
find the details.
that's exactly, I think. what
Devil's
Rich
in the
suggested.
details.
Okay, I'd like to make a motion to pursue this matter.
Okay,
I would second that.
any further discussion?
Would you like me to put this on the agenda for next month as well? Like, we'll go home, we'll think about it, and then we'll come up with the plan on how to move forward.
Right,
For sure.
and in fact, the next meeting of the new building committee or whatever it's called this week,
Municipal Building Design Committee.
that's the one, is March the 3rd, which would have been our next meet. Oh, March the 3rd, isn't that what he said?
March the 7th is our next meeting. is 22.
I thought it was going to be on a Monday. They, at the last meeting, said they were going to meet the first and third Mondays of each month.
March
at
3rd
6
is
o'clock.
Thursday,
March the 3rd.
Let's- Yeah, our next meeting is the 7th.
the 7th.
Yeah, well,
Yes.
what,
And the Municipal Building Design Committee does meet on Thursdays, I believe,
Not anymore.
or Tuesdays.
not anymore.
No,
At the last meeting, which I went to,
Well,
they changed it to be the first and third Mondays
oh,
of each month
okay,
at 6 o'clock.
okay.
That coincides precisely with what we were planning to do.
Mm,
However, I think at least one of us should attend that meeting. No more than two can attend, because that would be a quorum of us.
Right.
But that means we can't have our meeting on March the 7th.
We could start it at 7.
March 14th is the caucus, just so you know.
What do people think?
I need to go to the caucus. My wife
March
is
14th, what?
The caucus, the town caucus.
yeah.
Oh,
And my wife is running for a position, so I really
Yeah.
need to be there.
is that in the evening?
Yep, I can tell you the time. 6:30.
Yeah, so the 14th, couldn't we just do 7 o'clock on Monday, the 7th? And you could actually zoom into the meeting from here and then.
Yeah,
have
my
the meeting.
concern is if we do that, I need to make sure the three guys that came in have their hearing with them while I'm still on the call. I don't want them to have their agenda and then I'm in for an hour and then they come to it. The whole point is to be there and hear what they're going to say.
Well,
could you, Steve, could you just ask for I mean, I think you did anyways, just like a sample or just like a cost of what we're looking at? I think you asked them to present that to you anyways, right?
I asked them for budgetary numbers, which they didn't give me.
so.
Yeah.
Would it behoove us, if they're meeting on the 7th, I'll make a recommendation, why don't we, for this 1 month, just meet on the 8th? If, I don't know,
Look at me.
That's a Tuesday, doesn't work for me usually.
okay,
Wednesday's good for me.
I can, yep, I could do a Wednesday.
When, just put the.
That would be March 9th. You wanna
Check
look
with
at
the
it?
social secretary.
See what March looks like.
March 9th? No.
I mean, I have a jazz band thing, but I'll
our meeting's
skip my jazz band thing.
There's one other alternative which I don't think would work well, and that's that we have them zoom into our meeting. So that we are formed as a meeting, but I don't think we're going to be prepared to say anything as a committee at that point.
No.
To be honest, I think it behooves us to meet after that one, because you're gonna get all
Yes.
kinds of information at that meeting
Right.
that we will need to discuss.
Yeah.
And if we do a meeting at the same time, we we'll be finding
Right.
information and won't be able to discuss it.
March,
because,
March the 9th is a
Can we do March
Wednesday.
That's okay with me.
Jeff, is that
or the
all right with
10th,
you?
9th or 10th,
Ninth.
The 9th doesn't work. Or the 10th. I'm looking at my calendar now.
okay.
14th
Okay.
doesn't work.
Um,
What about the preceding week? Of course, we're running late on this one as well.
so,
Well, the preceding week is February 28th.
So we just need,
Actually, that's
You-
is there just something we just need to vote on before we meet?
the meeting before is worthless.
we should meet with after the Ms. Judy just said, yeah.
Um, Is there a time on the Tuesday? I know you say you have a conflict on the Tuesday. If we met a little earlier or a little later? does
Well,
that work?
actually, you know what? Every other week, we're doing it by Zoom. It's actually choir practice for church. But
Okay.
we do it by Zoom every other week. If I ask him to make that a Zoom one, it doesn't start till 7:30. So
So-
we're not doing the budget again. We're not.
We could meet at
Space.
6 o'clock
We met at
on the
6 o'clock
Tuesday.
on the Tuesday.
and
Jeff,
then- All right,
6 o'clock on the Tuesday.
Tuesday, the 8th?
is that good for you?
Tuesday, the 8th. The only problem is I started a new job, and so we have experiments, and then sometimes I do not leave until 6, and we plan the experiments the week before, so I won't know until
If we.
Monday, the 28th of February.
30? Is that?
That gives me only 1
Oh, yeah,
hour.
that's right. Why don't we do it that way? And then when you find out on the 28th, maybe we can fudge the time a little bit. How long would it take you to get here? I mean, it's asking a lot. to go
Or
right from
some,
work.
can you not Zoom from work at that time?
I can probably just Zoom from work because it's in Cambridge. I
Oh,
got
yeah.
a new job in Cambridge, so I mean, normally when I leave around 5, it takes me an hour and 5 minutes to get
Oh, that wouldn't work anyway.
So you work for Google?
home. So 6, yeah,
Yeah, it wouldn't work.
so I mean, I could Zoom in from work. That wouldn't be a problem, but
Well, that's the backup then. If you can make it, great. If you can't make it, Zoom from work.
yeah, I can do that.
It's just only because they're gonna meet on the space on Monday.
Yeah.
And that's the information we need to really make decisions on this.
Right.
And we need to go in a direction. We need to tell these guys our direction one way or another, so that they can move on to do what they need to do. This is a domino thing. So I would appreciate that.
If the building committee asks me to say anything, I will say we're open for considerations and that's what we're doing.
Okay.
That's all we need.
So that's Tuesday, March 8th.
Tuesday, March the 8th,
Just because of that meeting.
at
6
six.
o'clock in the evening, not in the morning.
Oh, darn, I was looking forward to seeing you
Ah.
guys over coffee and, I know.
Why not?
Actually, 6 a.m. is the middle of my night.
Yes.
Well,
Only just gone to bed, I have. In that case, I reached the end of the agenda. Anyone have anything to add? If not, I will entertain a motion.
Motion,
moved.
second,
No discussion. All those in favor by call, Pete,
Yes.
Steve,
aye.
aye, me.
Arr.
Thank you all. Appreciate your
Thank you,
tolerance
Jeff.
getting through all of
Yeah.
it. Especially trying to do the minutes over Zoom can't be easy, but thank you.